time.
Hi, this is Hélène Blanchette, president of My Jane, and welcome to My Jane, My Story. Our mission is to unite and empower women through community, education, and exploration of cannabis solutions to address our biggest health concerns like sleep, pain, and stress. But we also address romance and laughter, which is part of wellness. There is so much overwhelming information out there, and we decided that we needed to come together and share stories by creating My Jane, My Story. This is a place to talk about real life experiences so we can be better and do better through an open talk. Every journey is unique, every path is special, and we are extremely grateful to have our guests here to share with all of us. This is a non judgmental space where every question is necessary to learn and shift our perspective on this beautiful plant. Today, we are fortunate to have with us a woman that is the definition of success. Our guest, Susan Wang is CEO of Best Dispensary, Jamestown Center, and Hiley Holdings. Susan is a South Korean cannabis business entrepreneur who immigrated at the age of 12 to the United States. A cannabis industry stakeholder since 2012, Susan cultivates diversity and inclusivity in the cannabis space through her executive leadership roles. She serves as the market leader of Women Grow Phoenix and Women Grow Los Angeles, one of the largest professional networks in the cannabis industry. So, Susan, first of all, welcome and thank you for being with us today. Let
Thank you for
me,
having me.
oh, it's a pleasure. And let me begin by congratulating you on the so clever name of your dispensary, Best Dispensary. And we see beautifully the logo in the back of you right now. When I've read all many articles about you, I kept seeing the words best dispensaries as an award until it clicked that you had brilliantly named your company that way. So kudos for this.
Thank you very much.
So I mentioned briefly in the introduction that you were from South Korea, and having lived in Asia myself, I know that it is certainly not there that you got the idea of being in the cannabis industry. So tell us about your amazing journey, because today you are so successful that people associate you perhaps with the crazy rich Asians born in money. But is it? Is it your story?
Yes, thank you for inviting me, and I'm very honored to share my story with all of you. Yes, I was born and raised in South Korea until I was 12 years old. It is partially true that I was born into a wealthy business family. However, the reason we moved to the US in 1999 when I was 12 years old was because of the failure in business. So in 1997, there was an economy crisis, and our company businesses were very impacted by this economy crisis. So when we moved to the US in 1999, my parents and myself and my sister, we pretty much came to the Los Angeles airport with one piece of luggage. So it is misconception that, I am part of the crazy rich Asian, and with the money that I built all the businesses, I had to literally fight for everything that you see and the licenses and properties that I have acquired last 10 years. So we came to Los Angeles and moved to Tennessee actually because my father wanted to start a small business, beauty supply store, and he wanted to strategically go to where no one was operating a beauty supply store. So we went to a very small town that's a borderline of Tennessee and Kentucky, and he operated the only beauty supply store back in 2000 to start a business there because we didn't have much money available, capital available to start a business. Hence the reason I believe that's what triggered me to be in the cannabis industry, because I saw that my parents, despite the language barrier, despite the fact that they had no startup capital available to start a business, I saw them that they had a vision and dream and work ethic. And within that, I saw that the beauty supply business was growing in Tennessee, where I grew up. So from Tennessee to Arizona, I moved in about 2005 to go to ASU to study Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry. And shortly after, I started Master of Science in Microbiology in hopes to be in a pharmaceutical industry. And because of my nature and entrepreneur spirit, even though my parents who are immigrants, they wanted me to be a doctor or an attorney, I chose a path of medical science so that I could be combining science and business together and hope to be in pharmaceutical industry. While I was in graduate school studying Master of Science in Microbiology at Arizona State University, I was inspired to get in the business. So actually I got into a virtual pharmacy contracting business, and I started to get really good at securing government contracts. And within that process, around 2010, that's when I learned about Proposition 203, Arizona Medical Marijuana Act here in Arizona, where I was going to school around 2009. So I'm proud to say I'm one of the very few minority license holder who's acquired a license initially when the program first started. I would probably say I'm the only minority Asian woman license holder here in the state of Arizona. So yes, Jamestown Center, where we have multiple medical cannabis business licenses. We are vertically integrated from retail to cultivation site, extraction labs, and infusion kitchens. And also I do have licenses in California and licenses pending in the state of Illinois. Not just cannabis business, but I branched out to real estate and also brand development, where we're not touching cannabis, but assisting other brands to expand and also do white labeling and manufacturing. And part of the reason was because I got into this industry with no capital, which is a very similar story to what my father and mom went through when we first moved to the US. So again, I do believe that the hardships and challenges that our family faced when we first moved to the US almost equipped me to be where I'm at, serving as a CEO and a Class A board member, license holder of 14 licensed facilities here in the US, and hope to branch out to other countries as well.
Wow, that's so impressive. Just hearing about it is extremely impressive. Now, how do you get 14 licenses? When you think about it, it's hard for most people to get one, and they become more and more costly. What was your journey to be able to acquire so many licenses? And is that what you had in mind to begin with, or is that, you know, like a mix of talent and opportunity and that followed your path?
I definitely have to give credits to God, first of all. I would definitely say my case, not only I was blessed to be at the right time, at the right place when Arizona medical marijuana was enacted here in Arizona, but also I do have this quality where I do think outside of the box. So one of the strategy that I had was that through the virtual pharmacy contracting and government contract businesses, I've learned that you can always use your disadvantages to be the platform for you to go to the next level. So in Arizona, there was not much benefits to being a minority or woman-owned business, but I did get into the industry with the hopes that the government will favor woman-owned business, minority-owned business. It was later that I learned that those qualities and you know backgrounds were not applicable. However, because I had faith that it will always help me, that was the chance that I had. And I think it's the right attitude and the positivity that I had into coming into the industry to begin with. Additionally, because I do think outside of the box, zoning is very important in securing multiple licenses. Long story short, many operators or license holders will pass upon the opportunities of some of the real estate properties, maybe because churches are too close or there are schools nearby, there are daycare, even the properties that other people were passing through. I always saw opportunities and possibility in them. So One of the perfect example is there was a property that was too close to the church, but instead of just saying no and passing upon that opportunity, I actually went to the church, developed a close relationship with the church and the minister and elders of the church, and actually convinced the church to move to a new site. And also, we do have properties where the schools were too close by. However, we developed a, again, close working relationship with the school, and we offer to donate the fund to further develop their facilities, and committed to continue to donating to the school as far as a portion of our profit to go to those schools. So when the zoning hearing was up, school boards was not object to the zoning variance request that we applied for. And another story that I would like to share is that even a daycare was too close to one of the proposed site. And I started to get to know the owner and operator of the daycare. And I found out that the daycare actually was not even licensed with the city. So not only I promised to the owner to help her to get a business license, but I found her an alternative location and helped her to draft the business plan. And so now she had moved and she's making more revenue than she was when she was nearby the proposed location in the old location. So
Wow.
I would
Yeah.
definitely have to say persistence and patience, and also developing relationship with the community have really helped us to secure many licenses that we hold now.
Yeah, I didn't hear any luck in there. It's like you literally move mountains. You literally move the people. That's extraordinary. What a way of thinking. You're so strategic. It's impressive. Now, today you say you have 14 licenses, from cultivation to infusion to retail, medical, and retail CBD. What's your vision of your business in the cannabis industry? And I will also ask you, what's your place at the table in the industry?
The vision in the cannabis industry is still remaining same when I first started. Just like I wanted to be in the pharmaceutical industry to enhance people's health and mind and body, but also improve the quality of living for other people through medicine. And I'm so thankful that through the cannabis industry, I was able to offer that through various facilities that we operate and manage. So in hopes that we could want to continue to bring the excellence to the cannabis industry and continue to set the standards where there is no standard in the cannabis industry yet. And so through the retail to brands and packagings and concepts and experience, we would like to deliver an elevated experience that's memorable to everyone who walks in the door, not just clients, not just customers, but also for our team members and employees as well. So Best Dispensary and many other brands that are managed and operating under my cannabis business licenses, we hope to continue to bring those excellence and experience and elegance to the industry. Again, it is much, much, much work to be done, but we also focus on the quality and the products as far as the consistency and safety. So because of my science background, we really hope to continue to work with our medical directors, doctors, chemists, and PhD consultants to continue to develop innovative products to continue to help our clients' health and improve their quality of living.
It's, you know, quality and beauty is seems to be equal to South Korea, because we had on this show, we had women oncologists from Chicago, gynecologists, skincare makers, all producing the top quality products in the cannabis industry. And the many women of South Korea I have met personally and interviewed, um, all had this highest quality and innovation of within that industry and this specific plant, to create extraordinary products. Why do you think, or what do you think being South Korean attracts you to the cannabis industry, or attracts women in the cannabis industry? And also, do you think it's an advantage to be South Korean and not just from the diversity point of view, but from the cultural aspect of background?
I do believe that coming from South Korea, people who were born and raised in South Korea are very tenacious. And that's because we face many different adversities and also challenges. Probably you are very aware of the history of South Korea. Korea itself actually has been an independent country for thousands of years, and it's even documented as well. But because we're such a small country when it comes to size and the location wise, it is a peninsula. So that means that we're surrounded by ocean, and above us is a land mainland of China. So because of the location and being nearby Japan, historically, South Korea was always attacked by other countries because these other countries wanted to secure the location of South Korea for multiple reasons, but also because of its limitation on the size, the land size itself, there are limited natural resources available. So historically, when you look at it, even our ancestors always had to come up with an innovative way to do business and survive. So rather than farmers and agricultural business to dairy farms or other industrial businesses, our ancestors had to be the middlemen, and we had to be the businessmen that are in charge of distribution and connecting other areas and regions and countries. So it is my guess that it's in our blood and DNA that we always had to pivot. We were always faced with adversities and challenges, but it was our job and survival instinct to figure out. So it is my opinion that perhaps maybe that's why you see many people, especially many women in the cannabis industry to beauty industry to medical industry, because we've had to use our brain and intelligence and emotional intelligence to survive and show our strength and talent rather than just flexing our resources or financial ability to survive in the business world.
Yes, I agree. And I mentioned to you once before that through my years in Asia, the most fascinating, powerful, and intelligent women I have met were the South Korean women. And I think that it's in the, like, and yet it is still today, even though it opens up a lot, a country where it's a male dominating culture. And I think that women have become so strong and strategic and intelligent to be able to actually shine and rise into such a dominating, male dominating country, that it gives you that unique power of warrior, I would say, of warrior, feminine warrior. But also I think that there is an element of, I mean, when we go to South Korea, beauty is everywhere, quality is everywhere, right? I mean, you could see on the street when you look at people, the quality of the fabric of their clothing, right? And everything is so high quality. Why do you think that is? Why are South Koreans thriving for such high quality and perfection?
Yes, that's a great question. Again, similar to what I shared with you, when you come from a region where there's not much crops or animals to farm or natural resources to sell, you have to be innovative. And as you see in the market, even in the cannabis industry, although cannabis is a commodity, you actually can find cannabis products even in non-licensed market. So I think the key is to be different, but also delivering experience and artistic view of the products and almost communicating with your clients and customers. And you're communicating through the designs to creativity and innovative ways to appeal to them. So I think that's why South Koreans always have been very artistic. And again, going back to the history, because Korea itself has been attacked numerous times in thousands of years of history, to preserve the history and to pass on and almost to unite the community. And through the hardships and challenges, people needed a different way to express themselves. You know, when we were attacked by Japan and under Japanese control for almost 100 years, we were prohibited from using our own language, Korean. So I think people express their identity through designs and fashion and artistic ways to express themselves. So I think it is my guess that, again, those are the reasons why the challenges and desire to be different and desire to be independent and also express our freedom and creativity when we are being suppressed and oppressed. I think that may be the reason why Koreans are so passionate about expressing themselves through fashion, arts, and music, and interior design and architects.
Well, and my next question to you, I mean, when we look at, for those of you who are going to watch this podcast on YouTube, the background that we have is absolutely beautiful because it's your store that is not yet open, but that will open soon. When are you planning to open this store?
Yes, we're here at Best Dispensary Mesa, Arizona location. It is to be open next month. We actually just had a final state inspection from Arizona Department of Health Services today, and we are in compliance. So we have our approval. So we plan on opening next month in November 2020 here in Mesa, Arizona as Best Dispensary Mesa. We do have other operating dispensaries in multiple cities of Arizona, but they're not on their Best Dispensary brand yet. So starting next year, we're going to rebrand our existing dispensaries to Best Dispensary. Of course, with depending on which city and state is, the name at the end after Best Dispensary will be different. But it is our long-term goal to actually have Best Dispensary nationwide in multiple states. We're currently preparing for the opening in downtown LA, California, which you will see the opening in mid-summer of 2021, and also Southern California near Palm Spring area, probably late of 2021. And like I shared, we're currently talking with Missouri, Michigan, and Illinois to open up franchise model of Best Dispensary in those states. And we hope to be in my mother country, South Korea, once the legalization does happen. But currently I am working closely with the South Korean government for better initiative and also policies to be enacted. But a lot of work to be done. And we hope to be in Canada, Mexico, and India as well.
That's wonderful. And God, that's definitely the definition of success. Now, tell us about the experience that will make a visit to your store different than walking into another dispensaries. What's your vision of the experience a customer should have when they walk into your stores?
Of course, from the moment you pull into the parking lot, you will see a grand building and structure that represents Best Dispensary. And also, of course, when you walk inside, you're in awe with the beauty, and also transparency is very important to our companies and brands. Therefore, there are multiple glass walls where you can look through from the retail showroom to cultivation side, infusion kitchens, manufacturing facilities, all inside of the building. So almost like a tour of a distillery, or like when you walk into some of those brewing companies that have multiple areas and manufacturing going on. That's the experience that customer will first observe. Of course, the interior design to architects and furnitures, it is the best. However, we focus more on the customer experience. So that's why our team members are trained appropriately, and ongoing education will equip our team members to not only provide suggestions and guidelines and assist our clients and customers, but also these advices are based on medical science and based on factual information. So we do have medical directors available on site, whether it's through virtual or in person as requested. We have pharmacists that are on staff that are available remotely to further provide the advices regards to contraindication of existing medications that people may be taking already, and how they may affect their existing medications that were prescribed by their own physicians and doctors. But we do have our wellness advisors who better recommend the products to clients and customers based on conversation. So you see the computer monitors behind me, but those are POS stations where transactions are occurring, to printing out labels and receipts that are mandated by the state regulations. But other than those POS equipment, we do not have TVs available here, because we want our clients and customers to rely on the human capital that we provide, which we focus on education and ongoing training. So it's almost going to be like when you go to those high-end hotels such as Four Seasons and Ritz-Carlton, we do have very similar principles. Of course, integrity, transparency, and honesty, but also we apply the harmonious relationship that we promote within our team members, so that we're a team, but also our focus is on assisting our clients and client comfort and privacy, to reliance on our knowledge and experience to provide them with an elevated experience that's memorable.
Wow, so that's individual education that you're going to do as opposed to group education. So so I guess how much time, would a customer spend with one of your wellness concierge to be able to really assess and understand what's the best product for them?
So to maintain this excellence and elegant experience to our customers and clients, maintaining our team members to retaining existing team members is very important. That's why our employment benefits to how we serve our team members and employees are exceptionally important to our company. And that's because when the clients and customers visit our licensed facilities under Best Dispensary, we would like to provide consistent and also safe and educated experience and guidance to our customers. And so that's why retaining existing members to ongoing education is very important for us to maintain that consistent environment, so that customers and clients are not only familiar with our team members, but also can rely on us. So when customers and clients actually check into our facilities, we prefer that customer continues to see the same advisors. And so again, it is going to be hugely focused on retaining our existing team members. The training and education will happen both, not only group, but also individualized session, because not all of us are born the same way. So some employees and team members might require additional support when it comes to customer service and also hospitality, but some may need more support regards to medical science education and training regards to efficiency of transactions completion. So depending on each person's need for the employees and team members, will customize the ongoing training. But that's why next to Best Dispensary Mesa, we're opening an Arizona Cannabis school, to where not only we're focusing on training our team members and retaining existing team members to not only enhance their education and knowledge, but we'll be happy to invite the general public to be educated and provide a certification once they do go through our extensive programs covering anywhere from compliance to rules and regulations, also how to dispense, looking for signs and symptoms when talking with patients for medical cannabis, but also hospitality and customer service training as well.
Should we expect to have your own products or a diversity of curated products?
That's a great question. Almost think about like Neiman Marcus. When you go to Neiman Marcus, you have different brands and departments that are available, but also there are sub-brands that are from Neiman Marcus internally as well. So not only you will see our own brands, Best Dispensary, or another version which is called Cultivate Good Times, we're also going to have other cannabis brands that are third-party tested and also went through extensive review process. So there are many brands and products available here in Arizona, but we are not going to just bring any products or brands, but they must meet our criteria and requirements, which again requires an extensive full panel of laboratory testing, that's done by ISO certified and GMP certified laboratories that also have licenses issued by Arizona Department of Health Services. And even though I personally have biochemistry background, I decided not to go through our own internal laboratory because there will be a conflict of interest. How can you test your own products and state to customers that these are qualified and safe and consistent products? So for that matter, we're even electing third-party certified laboratories to not only test them, but also validate the test result that the vendors and producers will provide to us.
Susan, it's definitely interesting as a concept, but I'm so looking forward for you to open this new store so that I can go and visit and get a full view of the experience and live the experience myself, because I think that your vision is quite impressive. And I'm sure also that many of our listeners are wondering, how do I follow your success? How do I find out where your stores and when are they opening? Where do I know more about Susan Wang?
Thank you for asking me that question because I am very active on web and social media. So on Facebook, you can find me at Susan Hwang, SUSANHWANG. Also in Instagram, I'm under the same tag, Susan Hwang, SUSANHWANG. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and I've even retained some team members to secure vendors through LinkedIn. So if you have professional inquiries, you can reach me on LinkedIn, again under same name, Susan Hwang, SUSANHWANG. For Best Dispensary, you can check out the website, www.bestdispensary.com. And under Instagram, it's the same tagline of our dispensary's name, Best Dispensary,
.com. Can we go to the extent of wishing you more success? You seem to be so successful already.
Yes, I think, of course, more success, and everybody's definition of success is very different. But please send us good vibes and prayers as we continue to set the standards in the cannabis industry. As you're very aware, cannabis industries very inconsistent, and rules and regulations constantly change. So it requires all of us to constantly pivot and also adhere to local laws and rules and regulations. So yes, of course, it is our goal to be nationwide and even reach the consumers globally through Asia to Latin American countries and Canada including. So yes,
As the
please
market
wish us
develops.
many more successes.
But currently it's in Arizona, it's medical only. Am I right?
Correct. Currently, it's medical cannabis only. This November, we do have adult use cannabis initiative that's on the ballot. So it will be up to the Arizona voters to decide whether we're ready for adult use cannabis or not. So everybody's crossing fingers, and of course, there are many more details to be worked out, and the rulemaking will happen after the initiative passes. But the initiative will have to pass first, and so that will affect the criminal justice reformation to, people will no longer be convicted for, consumptions and possession of cannabis. So for the conglomerate goals and wellness of the community, we're hoping that adult use cannabis and legalization of cannabis will happen in Arizona through the November ballot.
Yes, and I think that with the economic problems that we're going through due to COVID, I mean, it does stimulate the mind of many of these legislators now to say this is a good way to restart the economy. So hopefully people will see that as well, how important it could be to restart the economy in Arizona. Um, Thank you. Thank you for your fantastic story. Thank you for the quality that you bring to this industry, to the leadership that you bring to this industry, into these beautiful stores that we're all looking forward to visit. How could I say now? It's time to say, 잘 가요.
감사합니다. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having myself and here showcasing Best Dispensary. Look forward to talking with you again, and it's been honor to be a part of it. And thank you for allowing me to share my story. If I've done it, I know everyone can do it better and more efficiently and effectively. And I'm here to contribute to the community as well. So feel free to reach out wherever I can help. I'm here to help.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. And that concludes our My Jane, My Story.
Thanks for tuning in to My Jane, My Story. If you want to learn more, you can join the My Jane community at myjane.com. Get instant access to our Facebook group, Facebook community, educational resources, and updates on My Jane products and special events. And for personal attention right now, you can also pick up the phone and call 833-MY-JANE2. That's MYJANE2. And speak to your own wellness concierge, because it's time to own your wellness. Be well.